Hello everyone and welcome back to LT Gaming. Tom here, and today we've got something rather special for you lovely people. It's the Steam Spring Sale season, and what better way to celebrate longer evenings and some improving weather than losing yourself in some glorious grand strategy gems. We're diving into games that not only stand the test of time, but have continued to evolve, innovate and surprise us even now in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned empire builder or just dipping your toes into world domination, there should be something here to tickle your strategic fancy. So grab a cuppa, get comfy and join us as we explore why these strategy gems deserve your attention in this sale. And of course, remember to hit the subscribe button, like the video and let us know in the comments what hidden gems you're planning to grab in this sale. Let's go! World Warfare and Economics, 50% discount, €12.49. Modern day strategy where you're not just controlling armies but managing a nation's entire economy and global influence. World Warfare and Economics simulates modern day conflicts, diplomacy, resource management and military strategy, letting you run a country the way you see fit. Do you want to play as a superpower or lead a small nation to unexpected greatness? Of course, you can always throw the world into total chaos as well. Now in 2025, since the launch, the game has seen constant updates and refinements, and they've just notably dropped a massive update to the game, making it one of the most ambitious modern day grand strategy games available right now. If you ever wanted to watch world events unfold and thought, I could do that better, or worse, this is a sandbox for your geopolitical experimentation. Field of Glory Empires, 40% discount, €23.39. Ancient World Conquest but with a twist. Expand too fast and it can be your downfall. Field of Glory Empires forces you to manage the rise and decline of civilizations, meaning rapid conquest can just as easily lead to rebellions, corruption and total collapse. This is done through the game's culture and decadent system, ensuring that even mighty empires can crumble under their own weight. So why play this one in 2025? Well, Field of Glory Empires takes a fresh approach to ancient empire building. The integration with Field of Glory 2, where you can manually fight your battles, adds extra depth for strategy wargamers, and its modding community is alive and well. If you love games where conquering is just the beginning of the challenge, this is one of the most rewarding ancient era strategy games out there. Terra Invicta, 35% discount, €25.99. Imagine if XCOM was a grand strategy game, and you weren't just controlling a small squad, but the fate of an entire nation. Terra Invicta begins on Earth, where factions react differently to the discovery of an alien presence. Some seek peace, others want to fight, control, or worship the extraterrestrial visitors. But as the situation escalates, the conflict moves to outer space, where you establish orbital bases, mine asteroids, and wage interplanetary wars. Terra Invicta has only gotten better since launch, with devs fine-tuning balance, AI, and UI based upon community feedback. It's a mix of geopolitics, hard sci-fi, and large-scale space strategy, and it's a really one-of-a-kind experience. If you love a slow-burning but deeply strategic game where humanity's fate is in your hands, this is a must-play for you. Imperiums Greek Wars, 70% discount, €8.99. A channel favourite now that brings us to ancient Greece and the surrounding Mediterranean, a time of warring city-states, ambitious kings and Persian invasions. Imperiums Greek Wars blends 4X style exploration and empire building with deep grand strategy mechanics, offering a historically rich take on the ancient world. But it's not just about armies and conquest, you have layers of religion, diplomacy and internal politics, all playing major roles in shaping your civilization's fate. Imperiums has quietly grown into one of the best ancient grand strategy games on the market. Expansions have added new playable regions and scenarios, and its interconnected system means campaigns can evolve across multiple time periods. If you ever wanted a game that blends civilization style gameplay with the depth of a grand strategy title, this is one to check out. Age of History 3, 33% discount, €6.69. A global conquest sandbox where you can start in nearly any time period and guide a nation from obscurity to dominance. Unlike more complex grand strategy titles, Age of History 3 focuses on the big picture, expanding territory, forging alliances and of course waging war without bogging you down in economic micromanagement. Whether you want to recreate the Roman Empire, lead an African kingdom to greatness, or see what happens when the 14th century Japan colonizes South America, you have the choice. So why in 2025? This is the latest entry in the Age of History series that's adding in real-time strategy elements, better diplomacy and a more refined AI, making it the best incarnation in this series yet. Its modding scene is very active, meaning you can have a lot of new content to try out. If you love history and grand strategy but want a more open-ended sandbox style experience, this is a brilliant and underrated alternative. Rise of the White Sun, 50% discount, €10.49. China's warlord era from the 20s to the 30s is one of history's most chaotic and fascinating periods. Rise of the White Sun throws you into the middle of this power struggle. You don't just command an army, you negotiate, bribe, blackmail and manipulate rival factions, all while navigating shifting alliances and the ever-present threat of war. It's a game of politics as much as military conquest, and it means every decision feels critical. Why in 2025 for this one? Well, it's one of the most unique settings in grand strategy, and the devs have continued to refine and balance the game post-launch. It offers a brilliant mix of diplomacy, deception, military strategy, and is a real hidden gem for players who love deep political maneuvering just as much as your battlefield tactics. If you ever want to see if you could unify China without getting betrayed and backstabbed into oblivion, this is your chance. Konkwest, 25% discount, €9.74. Konkwest takes the core ideas of grand strategy, territory control, diplomacy and war, but trims out the fat to make it a faster pace, more accessible experience. You're still managing an empire, forging alliances and expanding your domain, without the need for hundreds of hours of deep micromanagement. Think of it as a streamlined Risk meets Civilization. Every turn matters, and games could actually be finished in a reasonable time. So why play this one in 2025? Well, it's a breath of fresh air for strategy fans who love grand strategy but don't always have the time for a 200-hour campaign. The devs are constantly tweaking and expanding the game, and it's become a cult favourite among players who want the fix without the heavy investment of time. Perfect for quick and competitive matches, but still demanding that you have your tactics and strategic thinking on point. Stellaris, 75% discount, €9.99. Grand strategy in space, of course we're talking about Stellaris now. This one lets you create and guide a custom alien civilization, whether you want to be a benevolent federation, a ruthless empire, or a race of machine overlords, the choice is up to you. It evolves from early exploration through to galactic politics, warfare, and even a few crises along the way. AI uprisings, interdimensional invasions, or ancient starfaring horrors awakening from their slumber. Sounds pretty terrifying, to be honest. Stellaris has been constantly expanded with new updates, refining everything from espionage and diplomacy to ship design and intergalactic warfare. The modding scene here is ridiculous, offering you everything from Star Wars total conversions to Lovecraftian cosmic horrors. If you want to shape the fate of the universe, this is the game to play. Europa Universalis 4, 90% discount, €4.99. Grand strategy royalty now, with a game that spans over 4 centuries, letting you control any nation from 1444 to 1821. Whether you're leading a colonial empire, forming a global trade network, or surviving and hanging in there as a minor power, EU4 gives you the tools to shape world history. Wars, diplomacy, religion, economic strategy all play key roles, and no two campaigns are ever the same, and I mean that truly. EU4 has received over a decade of updates, making it one of the most polished, content-rich grand strategy games ever made. Massive expansions and mod support keep it fresh, with fan-made overhauls transforming everything from mechanics to alternate history scenarios. If you love deep, complex strategy with endless replayability, EU4 is still the gold standard. Ostalgie, 60% discount, €2.35. Most Cold War strategy games put you in the shoes of the USA or USSR. Ostalgie makes you the leader of an Eastern Bloc nation on the brink of collapse. The Berlin Wall is still standing, but for how long? You're caught between Soviet hardliners, Western influence, and growing internal unrest. Will you reform and risk chaos, crush dissent and cling to power, or try to play both sides to your advantage? Why play this one in 25? Well, Ostalgie is a niche gem that offers a rare in-depth look at Cold War politics from the other side of the Iron Curtain. It's an event-driven storytelling game with multiple paths that make playthroughs feel unique. With new updates and an active modding scene, it remains one of the most engaging and underappreciated Cold War strategy games available. Hearts of Iron 4, 70% discount, €14.99. World War II, but on a global strategic scale. Hearts of Iron 4 isn't just about moving armies, it's about logistics, production and diplomacy. And victory isn't just about having more tanks, it's about making sure those tanks are produced, fueled and supplied to the right places at the right time. Whether you want to lead Germany in a historical blitzkrieg or turn the UK into a totalitarian state, or see what happens when Canada tries to conquer the world, Hearts of Iron 4 lets you rewrite history in absurd and fascinating ways. And Hearts of Iron 4 has only improved with each update. Reworked focus trees, better AI, deeper espionage mechanics, and the modding community is almost second to none, with total conversions making alternate history experiences practically feel like their own game. If you love deep military strategy, Hearts of Iron 4 in 2025 is more refined, balanced and feature-rich than ever before. Crusader Kings 3, 70% discount, €14.99. Most grand strategy games are about ruling an empire. Crusader Kings 3 is about surviving your own dynasty. Every ruler is a flesh and blood character with strengths, flaws and inevitable death looming over them. It's a game of alliances, betrayals, arranged marriages and assassinations, where your biggest enemy is often your own family. I can't tell you the amount of times my brilliant warlord of a king would die suddenly and I'd be left with his son, a paranoid lunatic with a drinking problem and an unhealthy fascination with torture chambers. But it's a hell of a lot of fun. So why play this in 25? Well, since its release it's been constantly evolving. There are expansions which add deeper intrigue, more detailed court life and a lot more options for medieval mischief. The mod scene is absolutely fantastic, everything from historical overhauls to full fantasy conversions. If you're looking for a bigger, better version of Crusader Kings, this is it in 25. Total War Empire, Definitive Edition, 75% discount, €6.24. It's the 18th century, the age of muskets, line infantry and naval dominance. Empire Total War lets you command a colonial empire, balancing trade, diplomacy, military conquest across Europe, North America and India. It's a different kind of total war, where managing distant territories, securing trade routes and dominating naval warfare are just as important as battlefield tactics. One moment you're leading British redcoats to stand against the revolution, the next you're sailing a fleet to crush your rivals in the Caribbean. Now why play this in 2025? Well, at launch Empire was rough around the edges, but thanks to mods it has evolved into a brilliantly immersive experience. The naval battles remain the best in the series, no other Total War gives this level of global strategic depth, so if you're looking to rewrite history and see how far you can go, there's no better time to dive in. Victoria 2, 75% discount, €4.99. Managing an empire in the 19th century sounds like a dream. That is till your economy collapses, your people start rioting, and your carefully built nation descends into chaos because you gave the working class too many rights. Victoria 2 isn't about conquest alone, it's a complex political and economic simulator where every citizen has their own demands, political leanings and revolutionary potential. The world is evolving and you're trying to keep up. You have to balance industry, diplomacy and reform without letting your empire implode under the weight of its modernity. So why play in 25? For all its quirks, Victoria 2 still does economic and population simulation better than almost any other game out there. A lot of mods have refined it into a near-perfect Victorian grand strategy experience, adding more nations, reworked mechanics and richer historical events. With Victoria 3 still struggling to fill its predecessor's shoes, many fans argue Victoria 2 remains a superior game. It's a challenge, but if you love deep rewarding strategy, it's worth every minute. Whether you're going to rewrite history, survive medieval betrayals or command futuristic space fleets, or of course micromanage the rise and fall of an entire civilization, this spring's Steam sale should have something for every grand strategy fan. Better yet, with mods, updates and active communities, many of these titles feel fresher than ever in 2025. So what's on your wish list? What are you picking up? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye now.